Hello Info Person, this is Anton, and it's that time of the year again. It's time for us to talk about Apophis, the asteroid discovered back in 2004 that for many years has been identified as a potentially hazardous asteroid that could strike planet Earth, possibly as soon as a few decades from now. And being a relatively large object and also being relatively massive, with the size right here as you can see being larger than the Empire State Building, if this object did strike planet Earth, it would most likely create a crater of about 1.5 kilometers and would also produce an explosion equivalent to about 880 megatons of power. That's close to 20 times bigger in power than the famous Tsar Bomba that was exploded by the Soviet Union a few decades ago, which was the biggest explosion ever. And is also about 4 times more powerful than the famous Krakatoa volcano in Indonesia that back in 1800s created a lot of chaos and destruction and also lowered the temperature of the planet by at least several degrees, also creating these unusual optical effects that were captured in several paintings at the time, including surprisingly the very famous painting The Scream by Edvard Munch, with the unusual skies represented here most likely being the results of this particular explosion of Krakatoa. But what we're discussing today is the fact that this is no longer a hazardous asteroid. As of a few weeks ago, NASA has officially removed this asteroid from its famous, or more appropriately infamous, SNEOS, Center for Near-Earth Object Studies. And here under the impact risk, Apophis used to be pretty high on the list of impact probabilities. But as you can see, it's no longer on the list. And there's a really good reason for that. It has now been officially ruled out to collide with planet Earth for the next 100 years, which means that we don't really have to worry about that particular asteroid anymore. But how do we know so, and why is NASA suddenly convinced that it's no longer a risk? Well, there's a very good reason for that. It's actually because of this. The extremely recent observations from some of the most modern telescopes, and specifically radar observations, which allowed the scientists to very precisely recalculate its orbit and orbital parameters for the next 100 years. And the actual achievement, technologically speaking, is extremely impressive. Now, first of all, this object is roughly around 340 meters across. That's about 1,000 feet or so. And on March 5th of 2021, the approach of Apophis to Earth allowed the scientists to finally use some of the modern telescopes, specifically this huge 70-meter or 230-foot radio antenna known as Goldstone Deep Space Communication Complex. This is near Barstow in California, whose job was to receive the signals sent from another telescope, known as Green Bank Telescope, located in West Virginia in one of the most radio quiet locations on the planet. And the purpose of this telescope was to transmit radio signals, kind of similar to what a Arecibo telescope used to be able to do as well before it collapsed. And so now the Green Bank Telescope took over the role of the largest radar transmitter on the planet. And so by transmitting radio waves and hitting the asteroid, which then reflected the radar waves back to Earth, both of the telescopes were able to create these images you see right here. Now this doesn't look like much, but this was enough for the scientists to determine pretty much everything about its orbit and also learn a few more things about it as well. Now interestingly, this is at a distance of about 17 million kilometers away from the planet, which is about 11 million miles or so. And that also means that they were able to achieve a really impressive resolution of about 38 meters per pixel. And considering that this is at a distance of over 40 times as far away as the moon is from planet Earth, this is a really impressive achievement. And so by analyzing the data from these two observatories, the scientists were able to recalculate the 2029 approach, reducing this uncertainty here to only a few kilometers. Now previously the scientists weren't sure how close it's going to approach to planet Earth. The actual difference was in hundreds of kilometers, but this has been dropped to only a few kilometers across, and we now know that it's still going to pass pretty close to planet Earth, and this animation here is going to illustrate how close. And so it's actually going to pass somewhere in the area where we have the geostationary satellites, but it's not going to collide obviously. And now we are certain that it's not going to collide in the next 100 years, simply because of the certainty of its orbit. But most importantly, this rules out any potential collision in 2068. This was the one that people were actually worried about, simply because of the uncertainty involved in previous calculations, but this recent observation totally removed any doubt. It is not going to collide for sure. And all of this was thanks to the use of these two really large telescopes. with one transmitting and one receiving, something known as the bistatic experiment, and this actually allowed the scientists to double the strength of the signal and thus receive much higher quality images, although in this case it's of course radar images, with the current estimate for the potential collision in 2068 being something like 1 in 2.6 million, and that's actually extremely low, and so it is most likely going to pass really far from the planet. But because of these new observations, the scientists now have a chance to potentially also study the way that this asteroid is spinning, while at the same time determining what sort of a shape it has as well. Now, even though in this simulation it sort of more or less looks spherical, some of the other recent observations suggested that it could be bilobed. It could have two larger protrusions, like you see in this image right here from California Academy of Sciences. And this is very typical of asteroids that are slightly larger and spin, because the spinning effect does produce these two parts that slowly start to separate and eventually might even become their own asteroids. But more importantly, by using these observations from March of 2021, the scientists will be able to calculate the exact orientation asteroid will have when it's going to be passing near Earth in 2029. And they can now even predict what is possibly going to happen to this asteroid, and maybe even send a probe or two here to then see what happens to the surface of this asteroid. Some scientists predicted that there could be asteroid quakes, which could occur because of the close passage to planet Earth and because of the tidal effects this asteroid is going to experience, or maybe even some other unexpected effects that we currently cannot predict. And what's even more interesting is that when it does pass in 2029, it's going to be visible to certain parts of the world, specifically the Eastern Hemisphere, and people might be able to see it in the night skies without any telescope, without any binoculars. As a matter of fact, it's actually going to look kind of like this, like a tiny star moving relatively fast across the night skies. And so chances are, those countries you see right here, so pretty much everything in Southeast Asia and Asia Pacific, might have a sudden tourist boom as everyone tries to flock there to try to catch the glimpse of this beautiful asteroid, something that actually happens only once in a lifetime, I guess. But following this passage, it's very likely we're not going to hear about this until 2068, and after this, maybe never, because we don't really think it's going to collide with our planet for at least a few decades, but more likely a few centuries from now, possibly even ever. And so the name Apophis, the god of destruction, is no longer really appropriate for this particular asteroid. We might as well give this name to some other asteroid, but most likely an asteroid that we haven't really discovered yet. As a matter of fact, if we go back to that list I showed you initially, none of the asteroids pose any threat to us anymore in the next foreseeable future. The one with the highest collision chance between 2095 and 2119 is actually really tiny, it's only about 7 meters across, with the chance of collision being about 4.7%. And the largest rock on this list is the asteroid Bennu, with a relatively small collision chance over 100 years from now, actually over 150 years from now. So in that sense, there is really nothing to worry about for now. But usually when I make these videos about asteroids, I also like to make some potential predictions about what the press is going to be saying. And in this case, I think the press is going to go crazy next year. In 2022, we expect this relatively small rock, about 13 meters or about 40 feet across, to come relatively close to planet Earth, but the chance of collision here is only about 2 to 3 in 1,000. And so sometime next year, I'm pretty sure there are going to be a lot of images like this, and possibly like this, telling us more about this rock that is very likely going to pass safely across the night skies, but is also going to give us an opportunity to study asteroids in a little bit more detail. But this particular technique that the scientists used for this study, and also the ability to very precisely recalculate the orbits of asteroids, is something that we're going to need to use with many other asteroids in order to determine their dangers. As I'll be telling you more in another video that's going to be coming out really soon, these particular techniques and these particular studies are absolutely essential because there's still a relatively high chance from a collision from an asteroid we haven't found yet. And that is something that we need to be aware of, something that we need to always keep track of. And so these observatories and these asteroid trackers are very essential, with SNELOS itself being an absolutely crucial program necessary for the programs related to planetary defense. But we'll talk more about this in some of the future videos. On that note, you can relax for now, because Apophis is not really going to be destroying anything anytime soon. Thank you for watching, subscribe if you still haven't, share this with someone who loves learning about space and sciences, maybe come back tomorrow to learn something else, and maybe support this channel on Patreon by joining the channel memberships or by buying the Wonderful Person t-shirt you can find in the description. Either way, I'll see you tomorrow, stay wonderful, and as always, bye bye.